Stay tuned and let's take a look at this Marvel Legends Crimson Dynamo Wave Black Widow movie, Red Guardian. Pow and welcome back to the channel, Dan Who Reviews. As always, my name is Dan W. Make sure you are following me on Instagram at It's Dan Who. Today we continue taking a look at this Marvel Legends Crimson Dynamo, aka the Black Widow movie wave, Red Guardian, aka Hopper from Stranger Things. Obviously, of course, David Harbour. Very excited to see his debut in the MCU and as Red Guardian as well. Now, I'm very curious. I'm very happy that we got an unmasked head, but I'm also very curious why we never got a masked head, as it's very clear on the box art. He has a mask. We've seen it in the trailer, and usually Hasbro give us the masked head, and then if we're lucky, we get an un one. But apparently not the case with this guy, not too sure why, but we do get his massive shield and then a big arm for the Crimson Dynamo Build-A-Figure. There is the side artwork again in that noir style cartoon graphic design art-ish. I sort of like it. And then we get a little write-up that reads, Alexei Shostakov is a super soldier and spy who lived a lifetime of triumph during the Cold War. And then, as always, you get a list of all the figures in this wave you need to complete the Crimson Dynamo Build-A-Figure. Today we're reviewing Red Guardian. So again, apart from not including the masked head, this guy still looks quite good, and it's another new character to add to the MCU. It's just a shame that the film's been delayed, so we don't even get to see him just yet. But we will soon enough. But until then, we have the figure, so let's get him open. So here we have Alexei Shostakov out of the packaging, aka Red Guardian, aka the Russian version of Captain America, or the Soviet Union version of Captain America. So I really like David Harbour, the actor who plays him. Curious to see how this character is portrayed in the Black Widow film. We're just obviously going to have to wait a little bit longer to see it now, but we have the toys to tease us. And apart from not having the masked head, he still looks pretty good. Now, his whole head isn't as accurate as it should, and I'll talk about that when I zoom in and have a look, but just overall he looks pretty good. Now, he does come with a Build-A-Figure arm for the Crimson Dynamo, so you know what to do. Subscribe to the channel and come back once I've opened all the figures, and we shall build the Crimson Dynamo together. So come back, subscribe. But look at this guy. He only comes with one accessory, and that is his shield. So the shield has the big star on, and then on the back you've got the normal clip and peg to plug in the back of the figure, and that works, not a problem at all. So you can get him standing there with his shield in his back, looking good. So yeah, let's zoom in, have a look. So what do you think? Do you see the actor David Harbour in that face sculpt? I think I see a little bit of him. Now, we have seen the trailer for the film, so we know in the trailer his beard is a lot scragglier, longer, greyer, and this looks very much like a clean cut David Harbour. So maybe this was made from the original promo shots or test shots of David Harbour wearing the uniform than the actual version we're going to see in the film. Either way, it still represents the character in the movie, I guess, just not as accurate as we would like. But we are yet to see the film. Maybe we see flashbacks of a younger Red Guardian from the Soviet Union days. We shall see. We don't know yet. But either way, it still looks all good. Looks clean, looks decent. The rest of the suit looks all right as well. You can see the texturing throughout, and then the greys, blacks, and the reds. And he is a little bit thicker than your average Marvel Legend body, as he is portrayed in the film as well, I guess. And then down on the boots, and then on the back, as I said, you've got the shield that plugs in, and then on the back you've just got the straps and harnesses and whatnot. So if I zoom out a little bit and go over articulation, it's pretty good, as you would expect for male Marvel Legends. Double jointed elbows that sort of get stuck because of the muscles. Decent crunch though on the front, and then again on the back, and then double jointed knees, but go up about that much. So for a big muscular figure who's just going to be fighting people like we see in the trailer, I guess you're going to get the amount of sort of articulation you would need for this figure. Would have been good to get some maybe, does he have any weapons? Maybe different interchangeable hands? Who knows? I guess the one thing that we really wanted was that masked head sculpt. But either way, what we've got looks pretty good. So here we have our MCU Red Guardian compared to our comic Red Guardian, and it is always good to see where the inspiration came from. And yeah, it looks pretty good, doesn't it, to be fair? You can definitely see the reds and then the big star on the chest and then again on the shield. But obviously this David Harbour is a bit long in the tooth. He's not in his prime, where I'm guessing the comic version is in his prime because he looks very cut. But still, you have to retire at some point, right? But as you can see, this guy's wearing the helmet and it's even got like this little white mohawk. So again, curious to see how he looks in the film, but that is where the inspiration came from and doesn't look too bad. And even though no one asked for it, I've just put the David Harbour head onto this comic version of Red Guardian, and it's a bit loose. It doesn't really work perfect, but if you wanted to have an unmasked Red Guardian head, then I wouldn't use this one. Here we have Red Guardian compared to Taskmaster, and we definitely know these two battle in the film as it is in the trailer. So very curious to see how that turns out. But these two look pretty good together. Here we have Red Guardian compared to his two so-called daughters, as I believe this guy is meant to be like a stepdad or something. But either way, it's Natasha Romanoff and then Yelena Belova. And last but by no means least, here we have Red Guardian compared to a framed photo of Unparalleled Universe. So final thoughts are, it is a good action figure. It's just hard to have any real attraction towards a character we're yet to see. All we have is what is in the trailer, and we know from the trailer that this figure is not as accurate as it should be. Even though we don't know, we haven't seen the film yet. As I said, there may be flashbacks, but the only obvious downfall or flaw of this figure is no masked head. We definitely know that this figure comes with a mask and it is in the trailer, so we should have got it on the action figure. But if you forget that, it's still a solid figure, and I'm sure I will find a place for it on my shelf. It just makes me want to see the film even more. I'm sure if we love the character in the film, everyone's going to be clamoring to get this figure after then. But still, you let me know what you think in the comments below. Are you going to add him to your collection, or are you going to hold off until you've seen the film? Always curious to hear your thoughts, and if you want to support the channel, then go and watch some videos on the videos tab. But most importantly, please, please, please hit that subscribe button. Much appreciated. Nearly there. This is the last MCU figure of the wave. Now we've just got some comic book figures to look at, and then of course the Crimson Dynamo build. So stick around, and as always people, I shall see you on the next one.